The Tin Hut, and a happy Memorial today. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Hines, the Sarge, reporting for duty here. Welcome to the My Racehorse Watch Party, and welcome the Grade 1 Game League coming up here in just a matter of minutes. We just saw a thrilling stretch drive in the Gold Cup. Congratulations going out to Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert. Country Grammar, what a stretch run that was. Royal Ship, they threw it down as they had done in the California. It's a real pleasure to be here. And, of course, the subject is a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, going to Vegas. That's right, going to Vegas. We hope that we can hop on the I-15 straight to Vegas after a Grade 1 victory today in the Grade 1 Game League Stakes out there at the Great Race Place. What a great way to close out the card. Again, it's been a tremendous one at that. And also congratulations to Michael McCarthy, other trainer for My Racehorse, who earned a Grade 1 victory in the Shoemaker Mile Stakes. So the connections, trainers are doing well. Let's hope that with the ownership group in going to Vegas, with the My Racehorse partners, the thousands involved, in addition to the Abadanza Medallion partnership, we can give trainer Richard Baltus a belated happy birthday gift. He turned 60 years of age yesterday, did not run a horse, and he is looking for a winner on today's cards. Folks, this is an interactive show, the watch party, if you will. Feel free to stop by and say hello wherever you may be. We certainly would love to hear from you. And, of course, your support does not go unnoticed. Okay, and there is Mitch tuning in. He's here, so he's present and watching. And Marcia McNeese says, let's all go to Vegas. I think we will. In fact, when this race is all said and done. And this daughter of Golden Sense, of course, Golden Sense standing at the Spendthrift Farm, she won powerfully last out in the Grade 3 Santa Ana. And behind the scenes, Steve will have an opportunity to show you the field here momentarily. At first click, going to Vegas, odds, she is the 4 in your program. She is your second choice currently at 2-1. So there is a look at the field. Those odds that you see to the right of the horses' names, jockeys, trainers, those were the morning line odds. And Charmaine's Mia, she certainly rates as the horse to beat. You know, again, this race carrying so much history. The late, great Bobby Frankel having won this race on 8 occasions. Interestingly enough, and we remember the Grade 1 Game League being contested so often there at the late Hollywood Park, race that was inaugurated in 1939 as the Long Beach Handicap. And it was essentially dormant until the year of 1968 and has evolved ever since then. But some big names of Christmas past that we've seen. Astra, a 2-time winner of this race under Kent DeSormo, in addition to the likes of Precious Kitten, Tuscan Evening, and Lady Eli, as soon as early as 2017. So, yeah, I'm very excited, and I know that the party is happening right now out there at Santa Anita, and it's a beautiful day. A temperature in the mid-70s, and the turf course, I think, is played very fair in recent days. So the anticipation in looking at this race, when you consider the fact that Charmaine's Mia, I have a feeling she's likely going to go off in the neighborhood of, say, 7-5. She's currently 8-5 with going to Vegas, your 2-1 second choice. When you look at the pick 3s, for example, and even the pick 4s for that matter, going to Vegas stands strong as the second choice. So in talking and looking at the field, as we mentioned, Charmaine's Mia, who comes in for trainer Phil D'Amato, incidentally also a trainer for My Racehorse, has done a tremendous job with Carpe Venum, who is currently getting a respite. Charmaine's Mia has won 3 straight graded stakes events dating back to the Las Cienegas on January 9th. She is a front runner, and going to Vegas, she too is a filly that likes to attend the pace. So the feeling is that Umberto Rispoli, who is coming off of that nice victory in the Grade 1 Shoemaker Mile, that win and you're in for Michael McCarthy, I would imagine that he is going to keep company with Charmaine's Mia. So obviously the objective in these types of races, and much like any race, is to get the W. The objective is to win. And when you consider that, don't be surprised if going to Vegas takes an earlier run at Charmaine's Mia. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Charmaine's Mia gets an easy lead in this case, then chances are I think everybody is running for second. So that being said, I must say that I'm quite excited, and we're going to tune in for the broadcast there at Santa Anita as they discuss the on-track handicappers. I believe that would be Peter Lurie, Tom Quigley, Michelle Yu, actually working, I believe, the America's Best Racing there with Fox. But let's bring in the handicappers there if we've got some audio and to listen in to their thoughts for the Grade 1 Gamely going to Vegas, currently your second choice at 2-1. All right, so they're just in the midst of a replay right now, and if you didn't have an opportunity to watch what was an incredible race, again at the juncture there at the top of the lane, I got the impression that Royal Ship was certainly en route, but Country Grammar showing in a tremendous resolve down toward the inside, and you can see a pretty good distance back to the next runner. On this note. We also had considered Tiz Magician for this race. And as you well know, he's going to be headed to Belmont next week for what looks to be hopefully a winning event. And the reports that we've received from Papa Mandela, they've been very forthcoming. And the good news is that Flavien Prat will be making the trip. It was announced that Flavien Prat will not be riding the Preakness winner in the Belmont, as he has jumped ship to Hot Rod Charlie for trainer Doug O'Neill. So that ought to be an interesting element. But again, Rombauer getting the services of Johnny Velasquez, who once again took us on a magical ride with the likes of Authentic. So it all seemingly ties in here. We just saw Flavien Prat with a tremendous ride for your Hall of Fame trainer, Bob Baffert, in Country Grammar. And you go back and take a look at that Californian, that essentially is a budding rivalry. As far as Tiz Magician, he shipped to New York, or is en route to New York. The reports are that he should absolutely relish the distance of a race that he's proven that he appreciates that elongated distance. And it takes a special kind of animal to do that. And I think that was the ultimate deciding factor as to not going in to today's Gold Cup. There was some consideration when it was looked at as potentially being maybe a 4-horse field. But once it was determined that there would be a multitude of horses going postward today, it was then decided by the committee to take the horse Tiz Magician to New York. Definitely looking forward to the race next Saturday. And for those that are curious about how to get tickets, be sure to access Hannah Bloom. You can also reach out for Joe Moran or Joe Mishak for that information. There will be fans in attendance, and we look forward to next weekend with the Brooklyn at 1.5 miles, $400,000, a Grade 2, and it's a non-Lasix event. With Tiz Magician has proven that Lasix kind of a non-factor in his arsenal. That's the other element that we can appreciate about the stock with My Racehorse, and choosing their races effectively and choosing them wisely. So opting to go east and running for an additional $100,000 at a distance that Tiz Magician just absolutely thrives. It's a no-brainer. Not to mention the fact we get to keep Flavien Prat in the irons. So let's hope for safe travels. Tiz Magician heading out to New York for the Brooklyn next weekend. All right, as we await some commentary from the handicappers, the current odds, we're 16 minutes away from the 9th, our featured event here. You're watching My Racehorse Live watch party, and I'd like to give a salute going out to my chief, boss Michael Barron's out there. I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. And to you, the fans, just remember this is all about you. And we appreciate your support on behalf of everyone here at My Racehorse. And Rich Bargett says, ready to watch Miss Vegas win the game league from my patio here in St. Louis. Boy, that's a beautiful place to be, my friend. And I hope you have the barbecue chimed up and ready to go. And just remember, the fact that you aren't there, we're all living vicariously through you. And for those out there at the racetrack, and I know that I was relegated to the home studio today, barring any technical audio difficulties. And by the way, for those that are wondering about the My Racehorse live shows that we'll be presenting to you on a weekly basis, we are kind of in reconstruct mode, and we'll be up and running before too long. We're hoping by the end of June, no later than the first week of July, and look forward to the new and improved My Racehorse Live. Sarah, tuning in. Let us know where you're at, where you're celebrating, what your thoughts are, who you are, and when did you become involved with going to Vegas or any of the My Racehorse partnership in the micro shares? Did you come in lately? Has this been a run from the very beginning? Denise out there in New Jersey tuning in for going to Vegas. Sean Marie, my whole family snuggle up together here in New York, waiting to watch going to Vegas. We love you. Hey, you know what, Sean? I hope you have an opportunity to get out to Belmont next week. And whether or not you're involved with Tiz Magician, because Tiz Magician was one of the originals for us here at My Racehorse. And he certainly has carried that flag to the ultimate. Tricia Hill says, good luck and safe trip going to Vegas. All right, we've got Peter Lurie, Zoe Cadman on desk there on site at Santa Anita, the Grade 1 game league, just 14 minutes away, going to Vegas, your second choice, 5-2.
Absolutely. And if we look at the Grade 1 Game League coming up here, Charmaine's Mia is my top pick in here for trainer Phil Diamato. She's won all three stateside starts well. She's won them without LASIK. She's 5 years old and she's seemingly just getting better and better. And then I tossed in La Signera in here for Brendan Walsh, shipping in here, beaten just 2 1/4 lengths last out. I think she's going to appreciate a firmer turf course. She's run well without LASIKs before, and that should be pace aplenty up front for her, Pete.
Keeper of the Stars, to me, the defending champ, you cannot ever look away. That's when this 5-year-old daughter of Midnight Loot will burn you. And I thought the 7-horse maximum rate makes a lot of sense. As far as up north, I think we're both keying on the 3-horse, which makes a lot of sense.
I actually got the 2, Any Port in the Storm, for Peter Miller at Golden Gate with 0 minutes to race 8.
Well, all right then. We'll go with that. Horses are getting close to the gate. As far as the game lead is concerned, real quick, as they are getting close up at Golden Gate for the second leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. I agree with you, Charmaine's Mia, but it's not a race that I think you can guarantee hand them. I think if they're going to get a little bit of a test, it might come from the horse going to Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, she's got plenty of speed in here. I think if anyone's really going to test anyone, it's going to be Keeper of the Stars, because she was just super game up at Golden Gate last time out. And watching her walk over here, she looks like a cat amongst the pigeons. Like, she's
Really?
just a big burly mare by Midnight Loot. She looks absolutely fantastic. She's been given ample time to recover off of that taxing effort, and I just can't get over how good she looks.
I'm looking at her right now, even as you speak, and she is beautiful. Horses right now in the ring. That is La Signera for Brendan Walsh, you were just talking about a few moments ago.
Yeah, she comes in very well. She's going to be ridden by Mike Smith today. Got a good third place finish in the Jenny Wiley, and I think she's the type of filly that wants to hear her feet rattle, and she'll get that here at Santa Anita. Charmaine's Mia, she comes in with just absolutely brilliant works over the training track here at Santa Anita. She gets the hot hand in Pratt back aboard her. He's looking for his 3rd win in a row on her.
Red Lark going by very quickly here with Ricky Gonzalez for Patty Gallagher, a game second last time out in the Golden Poppy, also up at Golden Gate. We're going to dash over above us here to Northern California to Golden Gate for the second leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4. We get out to Matt Dinnerman for the rest of the load and call. Good luck.
All right, so that was a look, of course, at the field with saddles on. They'll be calling for our riders up here momentarily, and you can see by the feed to the right of your screen, Golden Gate, as they are in the midst of that golden hour double, essentially the second to third final leg of the golden hour pick 4. You heard from Peter and you heard from Zoe. I'm not sure if I'm going to take that comment too kindly. A pigeon. Cat amongst pigeons. Is that right? Okay. Keeper of the Stars coming off of that victory last year. She's the defending champion. And it's not an easy accomplishment or an easy task. As mentioned, there's been 2 multiple winners of this race in tipping time. This is dating back to 1970-71, and Astra 2000-2002. But Keeper of the Stars, she comes in. Certainly makes a nice appearance for trainer Jonathan Wong. And hello to L.A. Rush tuning in from Palm Springs. Yeah, I agree, Suzanne. The stables continue to grow. And I'm so excited, about the youngsters, and they continue to progress. We've got some exciting runners next weekend. Lady Valentine entered up. She did draw the rail, going 6.5 furlongs. This has been a long-awaited debut for her. And the reports have been quite positive. A quick conversation coming off the Smart Effort. Daughter of Frosted, purchased out of a 2-year-old in training sale last year. So things are definitely starting to percolate with the young horses. And how about El Warner? 32 horses? That's crazy. That's insane, but it's fantastic. Gives you plenty of leverage. Yeah, you should most definitely be on route to a win streak here sometime very soon. And hopefully it'll just come in succession. Jenny, happy to have the first race of my racehorse. To have your first race in a grade 1, that in itself is an incredible accomplishment, whether you win, lose, or draw. People don't like when I say draw, because in horse racing we call it a dead heat. But truth be told, that is phenomenal. That's the wonderful thing about investing with your micro shares here at My Racehorse, is you have a horse that's entered. You've got ready-made action. It's kind of reminiscent of, say, going to Vegas, walking through a casino, playing some blackjack, if you will, and you've got instant action and an opportunity to get some return on your investment. A shout out to Hannah Bloom, of course, all things social out there at the Great Race Place. Keep an eye on the feed there. Perhaps you might jump in the frame with the camera there as they step out onto the racetrack here for the Grade 1 Gamely. We are just 8 minutes away for the 9th, and it will be the final race today out there at Santa Anita. Also want to wish, speaking of all things social, the lovely Molly Cyber, happy birthday and a salute. Of course, to Shona and her young one, and it's amazing how quickly they grow. But it's great to have the team in good spirits on this Memorial Day weekend. All right, the Grade 1 Gamely on the track here as we take a look at the post parade, and horse number 5. For me, I think this horse is an interesting individual in Red Lark for Patty Gallagher. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Bottom line is that Ricky Gonzalez has been known to send. I have a feeling this filly is going to show more speed this afternoon in this spot. And just for the sake of there not being an abundance of pace signed on. We saw the one. One makes a real nice appearance on the racetrack. La Seigneur for Brendan Walsh, coming in third off of the Jenny Wiley. It'll be the third start back off of a respite today. And often a horse's best. Money Mike Smith aboard. Charmaine's Mia. We mentioned the 3-race win streak, having won 3 straight graded stakes events. She is seeking her first ever Grade 1 victory. She's a 7-time winner, but she is certainly battle-tested, making her 29th career start today. Going to Vegas, still very young. She's a 4-year-old daughter of Golden Sense out of that mare, Hard to Resist by Johannesburg. 4-time winner. She, too, looking for her first Grade 1 victory. She is Grade 1 placed, finishing second in the American Oaks 3-back. Gets Umberto Rispoli back today. And as you know, with the new rules, none of these horses racing on Lasix today. We touched on Red Lark, Keeper of the Stars, coming off of a gallant effort versus the boys in the San Francisco Mile. And I would say look, she certainly has shown an affinity for this turf course. She's 3 for 6 here locally. She won this race last year. She beat Bodicita, who was drawn to the outside. Now, Bodicita has not been seen since November, but she gets the mount here. Trevor McCarthy for Richard Baltus. Trevor McCarthy, as you know, made a name for himself in the Mid-Atlantic region, also riding out in New York. Won a race earlier today for one of our My Racehorse trainers in Michael McCarthy. Trevor McCarthy for Michael McCarthy, no relation. And the 7, best of luck to our partners. Of course, we're not united in this one. In Maxim Rate and the Slam Dunk Racing course, a partner in Vertical Threat, who is set to potentially make his comeback toward the end of the meet there at Santa Anita in a classified allowance race. And we've got big aspirations for Vertical Threat, knowing that the Breeders' Cup will be in our backyard, knowing that Vertical Threat has shown an affinity for that track, being a stakes winner at Del Mar. It'll be great to have him in action there. Richard Baltus, of course, doing a wonderful job bringing that son of Tapiture in returning to the races. So Maxim Rate, the 7 Slam Dunk Racing, good luck to them. And she certainly will appreciate getting back to firm ground. The questions are always, hey, what would be your approach from a gambling perspective? We never like to play a horse at 7 to 5. But I will say that Charmaine's Mia, she's certainly going to be the target in this case. But saying there's a target, she's going to have a big target because she's the speed. So going to Vegas, obviously going to have to try and attend the pace here and shake things up. Arthur Wise, wow. Did you say you had 30 horses, 10 shares plus? You went all in here in going to Vegas, or Authentic. Wow, that's a nice one. And Authentic, of course, many of the mare coverings out there at Spendthrift, the feature that we had on the last live show, I thought was tremendous. Ned Toffee giving tremendous insight behind the scenes in the breeding shed. And Authentic, he has just seamlessly moved in to the line of breeding. Very intellectual animal, incredible aptitude. You know, for a horse that was a bit higher strung and had his idiosyncrasies early on in his career, he's turned out to be the pro's pro. Elizabeth, her first horse was Lazy Daisy. What an amazing experience watching your first race in person at the Breeders' Cup. Well, hopefully, Elizabeth, you're going to continue to kind of graduate, if you will. You know, and speaking of graduate, I wanted to salute my friend and workmate, Joe Moran, and the work that he has done with Edge Racing. Yes, this time, who's won 4 straight, including most recently winning the stake at Gulfstream, is being pointed potentially to the first weekend in July at Belmont for the Belmont Derby, or perhaps the Kent there at Delaware. So the up and up there for Joe Moran, of course, our West Coast racing manager. As we take a look at horses as they work their way toward the starting gate, Dave Deckard says 33, not counting the bundle. You've got a lot to keep tabs on it. It's almost becoming like a full-time job, if you will. But it's good. It's a wonderful passion. And the Nomadic Historians is enjoying this. My first horse were Lane Way in the Philly 4. Well, Lane Way making himself, in fact, coming back off of a respite and newly gelded. I certainly think that he is going to have plenty to say in his return to the races. And, you know, we've talked about the fact that with these young horses as they develop, the key is patience. And the one thing that I can greatly appreciate, having worked with My Racehorse since ground level, the transparency. And not so much the transparency of just, hey, these are what the bills are, but the process. And I know how difficult it is for you as a shareholder, for a first-time shareholder, or even one that's been in the game for many years, when these horses, they come up, they have hiccups, much like raising a child or having a young athlete. But the patience that you show, and even on a level of maturity, it pays it forward. Just remember, it's a 365-a-day-a-year season. So if your horse comes up, there's a little bit of an issue. The beauty of the micro share is the fact that you can leverage yourself. you can leverage yourself. It's not just one horse that you've invested thousands of dollars into and you're on the sideline. Mary Tedeschi, first horse is Collusion Illusion, now at 14 or 15. Now, that was a quick rise because Collusion Illusion came into play in December with his performance there in the Grade 1 Malibu. Grade 1 winner in his own right, which just so happened to be at Del Mar. Well, he's on his way back. I saw the update the other day. I'm excited. In fact, I got a couple of direct messages saying, wow, Collusion Illusion, he looks great. Mark Latt giving the thumbs up. So kind of a 1-2 punch in the sprint department out here on the left coast with Vertical Threat and Collusion Illusion. And may even have the makings of a little side bet, I'm sure, for some. Joy McReynolds, thanks for tuning in. Just want to remind you all that the My Racehorse live shows, again, we're in the reconstruction process, and stay tuned for some updates on that. All right, they're loading up, going to Vegas. Let's hit that I-15 and have a celebration here momentarily. Going to Vegas. My Racehorse, good luck to you in the partnership of Abundanza and Medallion. She is 4-1 on the board. Let's send it out to Frank Miramati for the Grade 1 Gamely at the Great Race Place. Good luck, everyone.
Two more. Going to Vegas, Bodecita. And they're off in the game league. Going to Vegas, bounces out smartly, but Charmaine's Mia is naturally quicker, and Keeper of the Stars up and on the pace too. Behind them, it's Maxim Raid in fourth, about 3 lengths off the lead. At the rail, La Signare, another 2 back to Bodecita, and Red Lark at the back of the field. Flavien Prat has the heavy favorite Charmaine's Mia out where she likes it. On the front end, pursued intently by Keeper of the Stars. Going to Vegas, rating kindly off the pace today in third. La Signare and Maxim Raider right together. Another 2.5 to Bodecita and Red Lark, the distant trailer. Onto the backstretch they go, chasing Charmaine's Mia, who leads it by 2 lengths. Keeper of the Stars comfortably placed in second, and Going to Vegas is third. Then it's Maxim Raid fourth, 3.5 off the pace. La Signare is just behind her. Another 2 back to Bodecita, and Red Lark continues at the back. They're heading to the 3/8 pole in the game lead. And it's Charmaine's Mia, a half length in front of Keeper of the Stars second. At the rail, Going to Vegas, Maxim Raid covers her up. La Signare is still fifth, about 5 lengths off the speed, followed by Bodecita. Red Lark has gotten closer. They're a quarter of a mile from home. Charmaine's Mia and Keeper of the Stars, joined by Maxim Raid on the outside. Going to Vegas is next. And then La Signare, they're in the final furlong, and Charmaine's Mia has been overhauled. On the outside, Maxim Raid, center of the course. Here's La Signare finishing strongly, and so too Bodecita. It's Maxim Raid close to home. La Signare, a final try. Maxim Raid has won the game league. La Signare was second, Bodecita third, and then Keeper of the Stars.
Well, unfortunately, not the performance that we had anticipated. You know, in looking at the fractions of this race and how essentially things set up, I thought our rider, Umberto Rispoli, he had Going to Vegas in the perfect spot there, just in behind the leader. She was nicely covered up. Charmaine's Mia going to tick the half-mile split. What'd they go? 45 and 4, just shading 46 seconds flat. They went 22 and 4 the opening quarter. What's interesting is that you had Keeper of the Stars, defending champion. She was sitting in the perfect spot, laying second. Well, she ended up fourth. So essentially, your top 3 finishers ended up being the deeper closers. Maxim Raid, what an effort there for our partner, Slam Dunk Racing, and Branham and the stable Currency. That's a big victory for Slam Dunk. Maxim Raid, she gets back to a track where she has had success, coming in with 3 victories from 7 starts. And she certainly gave us the sign that she was ready, willing, and able to be back. This was just her second start back off of a respite. And, again, it's a little bit of a head scratcher for going to Vegas. Did she potentially react? Did she bounce off of that effort that we saw back on March 27th? You wouldn't think so, knowing that she's had two months essentially. But, maybe she, at this stage of the game, wants to be in a position to dictate pace. But in today's race, I just don't see her as being in a much better spot than she found today. So going to Vegas, as my professor once told me back in school when things didn't quite work out in my midterm exam, you may have lost the battle, but you haven't lost the war. So let's hope that she comes back in good order, and we'll be looking forward to those updates from our trainer, Richard Baltus. And ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, things don't always work out, do they? But good news is that on the gallop out, she looked healthy, and I'm confident that going to Vegas will be back and in a big way. She's certainly a competitor, as she's shown, having won 4 races in her career. The other thing you have to consider is that, from a distance perspective, she relished a 1.25 miles. She's won at a mile. Sometimes that tween distance at 1 1/8 and looking at today's fractions, I have no qualms with the ride. But, again, just simply was not her day. So that's going to do it for me. On behalf of producing Steve behind the scenes, I want to thank each and every one of you today for tuning in to the watch party. As, again, we were all hoping for a victory from going to Vegas, but she'll be back, as will we. And a big thank you going out to All Things Social, Hannah, Molly, Shona. We certainly appreciate you. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the winner's circle.